You're watching a YouTube mini-series vlog on a day in the life with me, TJ Tollakson, professional triathlete, CEO of Dimond Bikes, Rooster Sports, and Red Crown Cycling, father to 3, husband to 1, and international man of, I put on a lab coat in this video.
Good morning. Whew. Still got some rib pain. It's been almost 7 weeks. It's still bothering me, but it is getting better. The worst part is that flu that I had still have some remnants of, right? So it's the mucus in the chest I got to get rid of. But anyway, we're back at it. We're going to train, we're going to work, we're going to hang out with the kids today. So I got a full day. Got my Kirkland protein bar, some bottles of base I'm going to fill up. I'm going to check this out. Aside from my giant bounce house in the basement here, and my Corona Premier in here, I got one giant thing of base hydro mixed up in my Vitamix. This is what I use to fill my bottles with in the morning. This is called Bottle Prep. That's it, 2 bottles of base hydro, my protein bar. Let's go swim. So we're driving to swim practice in the morning. Masters swim practice, 5:30 to 7 is practice time. Tuesdays are pretty good swim sets. Shorter repeats based off of your mile pace. And yesterday we swam long course because of the Tier Pro swim series that was in town. I don't know if they changed the pool back yesterday or if we're swimming short course or long course today. It's a bit of a mystery. The one thing I do know is we will probably be doing mile pace efforts today, so it's usually pretty good, intense stuff. Varies week to week, so we won't know till we see the workout on the board.
Oh God, it's so good. So good. So good and tasty.
So over the weekend we had the Tier Pro swim series going on here. Went and watched. It was pretty awesome. Brought the whole family out there. But it was just awesome to see the world's best swimmers here in this pool, right here tearing it up, swimming some of the best times in the world, long course. So that's really cool that they all came to Des Moines, swim in this pool. We swim in every day.
I'm still feeling the effects of both my illness and my ribs, so I'm excited. I like the group that I swim with right now.
Denise Axis buoy. Got a patent on this with Trip Hedrick and John Mix and some people from Denise. This was an idea of mine a long time ago.
I am the smartest man alive!
It's part of the business now. It's pretty cool. I like to use it daily. So that was it for the swimming this morning. Swimming way better than I was just last week. Still got a long ways to go. Get back in race shape. 5,100 yards today, 100 pace work, way more paddles and buoy and fins work than I'm used to. It's not my favorite stuff to do, but it's good for me. All right, so today's a little different. I'm heading home right now. I got to pick up all 3 kids, hop in the minivan, take them to the dentist. Notice oral hygiene continues to be a theme.
Let me see your teeth. Let me see them. Let me see them. Oh.
So all 3 kids will go to the dentist have their teeth checked out, see how they're doing.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Let's see how fast you are. Ready, set, go! Woo! Woo! All right.
That was the bike race purchases.
Hello, beautiful.
Yeah. Try it again.
You're gonna nail it.
A unicorn. No, I did it again.
Some people are born with attitude. She has it. At 3.
Dad, on the way to will you put on
Come on. Old Town Road by Kids Bop.
Out in the valley, you ain't been up off the porch now. Can nobody tell me nothing?
Is it a full moon today, T?
What?
Is it a full moon today?
Working through the patience. Money comes and goes, the image for motivation.
So did you go to specialty training for kids?
I did, yeah.
I was just so. I want to live there.
Well, we got some bad news.
I gotta.
Drew and Frankie both have cavities. We got to cut back on the candy and the sugar cereals. Do a better job of brushing, and Frankie's teeth, we got to floss.
Boy.
Frankie's got 4 cavities, 2 between her teeth, 2 on her back 2 teeth. Drew has 1 on her back tooth, and the candy man, Mr. Theo, has none.
That's crazy.
Guess whose teeth he has? Yours. He is our best brusher, but he is also the candy man.
Yeah, no kidding.
After the dentist appointment, I dropped Theo and Drew at Greenwood, so they were a little late to school, but dropped them off and then just had Frankie to drop off at school after that. Hey, I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
I am the greatest.
But the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I am the greatest.
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 I'm gonna show you how great I am.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
All right, show me.
After dropping Frankie off at school, it's straight to the office, so getting in a little bit later than I normally would. It's 10 o'clock by the time I got in the office today, so really cramming things in. All right, so last week we were in this clean room and we were talking about laying up tables, cutting carbon fiber into pieces, talked about our 3D printer. Well, today we're gonna talk about molding. What I've got here is bag number 11. What's bag number 11? Well, it says on here, this says beam extra small and small. Has everything that's in there in this bag in this little kit. So I open it up, take a look at it. It's got all the pieces in here that I need. And this should look familiar, right? So we're gonna start with this one right here. Boom. That looks like an extra small beam. Come over here, we can take a look. I got the extra small mold sitting right here. And what you'll notice about this mold, all molds are a little bit different. What's unique about our molds, these are actually aluminum molds. But let me open it up here so you can kind of get a decent look at what this is. They're all heavy, all the molds are heavy. So because they're aluminum, they weigh less, but by no means does that mean they're light. So I'm gonna set this top over here. So you see what they look like? They have a really nice shiny finish on the inside of the mold. What I want to do is I want to take these parts from this beam. You can see I got right in front of me, I have this laminator. So you got to remember these are out of the freezer. And so they've been out of the freezer for a little while and they're sitting here. So I need to warm it up so it's actually pliable. So you can see where this piece fits right here, right? Boom, same shape.
Okay, so what I want to do, first thing I want to do is I just want to run this through the laminator. Okay, that's going to add some heat. It's going to take out any air pockets in between there. So I don't actually handle the carbon, raw carbon, with my bare hands. So I'll put on white lab coat in here, put my safety goggles on, and then I'll pull out a pair of purple nitrile gloves. Small hands right there, small hands.
They're not small, are they?
All right, so got those babies on there. Got this through the laminator. You can see it heated it up, made it really soft. I'm gonna show you what this looks like. So we're gonna peel this backing paper off. And again, I'm not touching the carbon with my bare hands because I wanted the fibers, I don't want the oil from my fingers to touch it. This looks like it's a 4-ply of carbon right there. So, and the fibers are running the same on the inside and outside, so they're running in different directions on the inside. So it's a balanced ply. But anyway, so once I have that heated up, I'm gonna set this in the mold here. You see, once you set this in the mold, you can get it to press down inside the mold and get a really nice fit. Okay, and so we use these tools. Since you don't touch it with your fingers, we use tools like these little wooden sticks and popsicle sticks, so you can really press it down inside the mold. When it's all said and done, this is a marquee beam, not a brilliant beam, but this is what comes out of the mold, is this part, okay? And so if you notice the top right here, this is a bladder bag. And so this bladder bag hooks up to an air hose, and it sits in the middle of the 2 clamshell pieces, and you inflate that. So it's a giant balloon, and it presses out so it makes sure that the part stays hollow. So I don't want to show too much more of these molds or our molding process. I'm not trying to give away any secrets, but that's what we have. That's the molding process, and it starts right here. Again, with the bag out of the freezer, I let it sit for a little while so it warms up to room temperature. I run it through the laminator again to get out any last air pockets in there. I press all the pieces in here. And again, when I'm pressing pieces in here, it's literally just a giant 3D puzzle, so I can go through my bag and I can find all the pieces that I need, all these different shapes that are cut out. And each one has a specific place. And we use an SOP manual, but when you do this as your full-time job, really you just have a memorization of where every piece in this kit goes. So it's about 4 o'clock. Eric Greenlee and I are gonna head out for a little hour run. And again, nothing crazy, nothing fast, just aerobic. Try to keep my heart rate in my zone 1. I got a cough drop in here because I don't wanna hack all over the place, but that's about it. It's a nice day. It's 50 degrees outside, so I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Celebrate.
We have great running paths right next to the office. We have an amazing bike trail system in the city of Des Moines. Right now, Eric and I are running pretty similar pace. Only difference being his heart rate's a little bit higher than mine, but that's fine. He's trying to get something a little bit different out of mine, whereas I'm specifically trying to stay in my Z1, which again is between 129 and 138 on the run.
All right, so we just finished that run with Eric. Ran on the trails out here. 58 minutes, 14 seconds, 8.05 miles, 7:14 pace. So as you can see, I'm clearly getting faster. Average heart rate 129, right at the low end of my Z1. That's where I need to be. So that's definitely my longest run in a couple months. So it feels pretty good to be outside running. It feels great. 51-degree day. Are we gonna ride bikes outside? Yeah, what else do you want to do? You play some soccer?
Because all the teeth were falling out of the alligators, and then she put a whole like 10 boxes of them and put it under the pillow, and then they get like thousands of dollars under it.
So all my kids are into bikes. I pushed that pretty hard on them, but most kids love bikes, right? So it's nothing unusual, but my kids race BMX bikes, and I built a little wooden ramp start gate for them to practice.
Go get it, dribble it back. Turn it around.
I really watch that video.
Yeah?
Do you not?
Come on. Let's go. Put your jams on.
Mamacita, no. No. It smells so good. No, mamacita. Oh, yeah. I can take a sandwich. Look at my feet.
Hey.
Stop!
Smell my feet. I don't want to smell your feet.
My feet.
They don't smell bad. OMG. I had dreamed of the moment for months, and now it was finally happening.
This morning's swim workout, we started out with a 500 swim, followed that with 6 times 75s kick, alternating dolphin, flutter. So that means the odds were dolphin, flutter, dolphin, and the evens were flutter, dolphin, flutter. Did them all on my stomach with a kickboard on a 115 send-off, which is 50 seconds per 50 or 140 per 100 base. Followed the kick set with 14 times 25s drill on 30 seconds, 2 butterfly, 2 choice. Then we did 3 200s pole. First one was easy, second one was negative split, and the third one was mild pace plus 2. Then we put fins and paddles on, and we did 5 200s, hold best average, with a 100 easy. Then we took the fins off, just had the paddles on, and we did twice through a set of 4 times 150s, hold best average with a 100 DPS. Our send off on those 150s was 230. Recovery interval on the 100 was 145. Second one was a 140. Molly yelled at me, said, no more over 140. So made sure my last 2 were under the 140. Last one was faster, which then she accused me of being a save up Sally. Maybe I was, but I'm not a great paddle swimmer anyway. And certainly the harder I pull with my left hand, the more the rib hurts. So just trying to balance that out too. All right, call me a save up Sally, that's fine. Then we did a 300 pull, DPS, easy. I dropped the paddles, just used the ankle buoy for that. And we finished off with 4 50s, holding your best average. Usually I can be pretty consistently in the 27s on those. Today I was 28, 29, 29, 28. Not super impressive, but still, it's what I had today. Gave it my best shot. Then we did a 300 cool down. Total workout, 5,100 yards. Diet for today. So I started out, you saw, before swimming, I had 1 bottle of base hydro and a Kirkland protein bar. During swimming, I had another bottle, finished that before I got home. Then after I dropped the kids from school, I smashed that giant smoothie. I had a pretty standard smoothie that I've been having every day: the beets, the carrots, the celery, frozen fruit, banana, protein powder, yogurt. Whole bunch of fiber in the morning, whole bunch of vegetables, whole bunch of fruits. Great way to start the day. Then for lunch, I had nothing until I had lunch. At lunch, I had a giant spinach salad with some salmon on it. No dressing, just some Anderson Erickson cottage cheese, one of my favorite foods. And then I had a cup of soup, a full cup of beef barley soup. That's really just ups the sodium intake a little bit more, but I find soup really helps make me full, especially if I'm just eating a salad for lunch, which might not fill me up too much. The soup usually does the trick. For dinner, I came home, I had another Kirkland protein bar. I had a giant can of Kirkland Premium Chunk chicken breast with some Hy-Vee Mexicali dip, some basil pesto sauce, and sriracha chili sauce on top of there. Just put it in a bowl, mixed it all up. Great little dinner snack with the protein bar. And then I capped that off with a large Honeycrisp apple and 2 tablespoons of some Skippy Natural peanut butter. That was my total food consumption for the day, which was 3,199 calories according to MyFitnessPal. We'll call it 3,200 calories. So it was a pretty good day. Let's look at what that looks like in terms of macro breakdown. So out of all those calories, I had 376 grams of carbohydrates, 63 grams of fat, and 186 grams of protein. So again, I'm kind of striving for a 50-20-30. I'm striving for a 50-30-20, 50% carbs, 30% fat, 20% protein. And I was fairly spot on today. I was 53% carbohydrates, 20% fat, so I was low on my fats again, and 27% on my proteins. Still no concerns because I was over 60 grams of fat for today, and 186 grams of protein is not excessive in my book by any means. It's a pretty good balance for me. So if we look a little bit further, you can see that, again, huge amount of fiber for the day, 72 grams of fiber. So I'm getting about double my goal of 38 grams for fiber every day at a minimum. I had 114 grams of sugar, 17 grams of saturated fat, 3,400 milligrams of sodium, and a lot of other micronutrients just from the amount of fruits and vegetables that I consume. So if we look at the whole day, breakfast was about 1,500 calories or 47%. That's pre-swim and post-swim. Lunch was 25% of calories, and then the other 27% of my calories came between my dinner and my snack before bed, which was the peanut butter and apple. So there you have about 3,200 calories. Plus a 90-minute swim and an 8-mile run. I don't count my calories playing around racing bikes with kids.